powerful moment in time to really use the power of our mind or imagination to create better realities. And so, my intention with this practice is really to guide us into stillness of our heart, um, and to see the inner vision that we may have in that space in our heart, and see what secrets or what mysteries or what truths can be revealed in that stillness and quiet space in the heart. So let's get into a practice here and really invite our heart's intuitive guidance to lead our way through this practice. The vision that I have for this is that we'll start with some really basic breathing to really come into deeper presence in our body. And then we'll start to allow our mind to relax as we simply watch our breath. And notice that as we watch our breath, our mind becomes more calm, which helps to quiet our breath and deepen our concentration. So there's this virtuous cycle that we can create. And then as we close the practice, we'll tune into visualization in the heart space. So I invite you to just allow your body to move in any way that it needs to move. Yeah, to release, stretch the body. Just let your body yeah. Breathe. Ah. Ah. And when you're ready, I invite you to start to simply breathe fully, letting go of your breath. And as you breathe in, allow the belly, the chest to fill up all your lungs. There's no right or wrong here. The suggestion is to simply fill your lungs completely and empty your lungs. Feel this ease and flow. As you breathe in, you'll feel your belly and your chest expand. And as you exhale, you'll feel your chest relax down with a wave as you breathe out all the way out through your lungs. Notice how with the power of your intention, you can really charge your body with this life force energy through the breath. We'll enjoy two more full breaths. And after the next exhale, I invite you to inhale twice through your nose and tense all your muscles. And exhale twice through your mouth and relax all your muscles. Do two more. Inhale and tense, hold and squeeze, and then one more. Good. And after the next exhale, I invite you to let go completely of trying to control your breath in any way. Simply allow your body to be as it is, breathing naturally. You can watch the sensation of the breath through a point in your nose where you feel a deep connection with the flow of the breath. Allow any sounds outside of your body, the sound of my voice, to help you deepen your concentration on the flow of your breath. As if you're playing a game called Watch Your Breath. So that if your mind wanders, you simply come back and watch the flow of the breath. You can feel your mind and your body relaxing deeper and deeper as you watch your breath. Notice how, as you watch the flow of your breath, the separation between you and the earth simply disappears. You can exhale 3 times out through the mouth, and simply allow the breath to pause as long as it's comfortable. You can let go of watching the breath completely. Simply rest your awareness at this peace in your heart. Feel the breath of the earth breathing through your heart. Allow every cell in your body, every thought in your mind to be touched with this quality of peace in your heart. You might even notice this earth, this peaceful earth in your heart. Feel this energy of peace radiating from your heart to everyone, everything on this earth. Safe to be in this moment, to feel what you feel. As you're ready, you can feel your feet supported by the earth. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Thank yourself for showing up for this practice. Trusting that everyone is benefiting from this moment of peacefulness in the whole earth. I invite you to ask yourself, what if this peacefulness that's possible can be the baseline for living a peaceful, connected life, connected with all living beings on earth? Thank you all for showing up for this practice together, raising the vibration on earth. There's no rush to go anywhere, say anything, do anything. Know that community is here. There are good humans on the earth. We're inviting more friends to join us more often in these planetary health meditations and many other initiatives that we have that we're creating together in a very grassroots and organic way. I want to thank everyone for showing up and hold space if anyone has any insights or um, questions, opportunities they want to share. And once again, thank you and invite you to continue to participate and get curious about what else is going on behind the scenes. A lot of amazing initiatives going on. Very grateful to have the opportunity to share this with you. Yeah, we're inviting more guides who want to, if you want to participate and guide a meditation, we want to make this also a grassroots community uh, contribution. So we welcome other friends who want to offer meditation guidance, and every week we offer a new perspective for more community members.
Sorry, we got some new people on the call. Bex just joined us, and then Matt is about to join us.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Bex.
I didn't get the full scope, but whenever I did get in, it was easy to drop into it. So your voice is very soothing.
Thank you. I saw you come in at some point. I was like, she seems like she's at home. So
Yeah.
thank you for coming. Thanks for
Yeah.
having
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. Awesome. I'm not sure what else to say. There's a lot to share, but you know, one day at a time.
So we've got some people on the call now. Anjali, um, Bex, Mirza here, like, who want to see how they can get involved with the community organizer role.
Awesome. Yeah, this is cool. Why don't we schedule time and like get to know each other
I
better?
was, I mean, I was figuring, could we do it like for how, like we discussed earlier, like we could do it for a few minutes after the meditation.
Yeah, yeah, we can jam now about it for sure. About
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce everyone. I mean, do you guys want to introduce yourself to Arye?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I introduced myself a little bit ago. I'm Anjali. I'm here in Dallas, and like my background is in like Vipassana meditation, done all kinds of different healing modalities, and then yeah, I used to teach meditation in Dallas as well. Um, and then yeah, I just moved back to Dallas, so yeah, I'd be happy to like um lead meditation sometime, when I have the energy and the space. But yeah, like I've been thinking about designing some different styles of meditation actually, based on IFS therapy. So, I don't know. I still haven't got around to like fully doing it. So when that happens, I'll let you know.
awesome.
And Anjali, you said you have experience with nonprofits, right?
Yeah, so I work at a nonprofit now. I do like graphic design stuff, web, UI, UX, like yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna help River kind of record some of his like assisted stretching like videos coming
Awesome.
here on Saturday. So yeah,
Sweet.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm down to help in that way too.
I love it.
How about you guys? How about you, Arya? Where like what do you do and where are you again?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Mhm.
Currently in New York, been visiting family the last few months.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I guess my background is all over the map from like I guess professionally a lot of experience with like well-being technology. Like I started a well-being like a marketplace for wellness practitioners when I was in college,
Mhm.
and that was a big learning experience for me. I'm really passionate about well-being and root cause resolution. Kind of inspiration for me the last 10 years has been just my own healing journey and resolving the root cause of an autoimmune disease and asking a lot of questions. Um, I'm very interested in kind of social operating systems. Like I'm a software engineer, designer, community builder, um, all in one.
Mhm.
And what led me to Giving Back Studio, I was the first partner creating that. Um, I don't see it as like I see like we're all kind of co-founders in a way.
Mhm.
That's kind of the culture that I want to build, where like everyone is a partner. And just because I was the first partner doesn't mean, that I have special things besides the fact that I've been, going at this for a while. But I'm really interested in how we can build like culture on purpose, where everyone realizes each other's infinite creative power and that we're really intentional about the way that we build and what we build and kind of see the double-edged sword of technology. Like it's not good or bad. It can be used for both. And so I'm really wanting to be intentional to design technology for good. Um, so I think often like a software engineer, but I act a lot like just a facilitator, and that's kind of like what I really love is facilitation and holding space for people and groups to experience healing and transformation and growth. I don't think that one needs to be sick to experience healing. I think that like when I say healing, I mean the advancement of well-being. And I'm really curious about a mindset of salutogenesis, like creating the conditions for health, and value genesis of creating value. So I'm going to bring in all these things together through my contributions to Giving Back Studio, playing a lot of roles here, from software engineering to fundraising. Um, my background is primarily in building businesses, and about a month ago, we created a kind of product we call the Total Wellbeing Funds, and it's a platform to support people who have valuable solutions to offer the world that want to get funding in a philanthropic way. So we're growing this Total Wellbeing Fund, and that's a really big initiative that we have here. About a year and a half ago, we started creating Giving Back Studio, and we've really been operating primarily through a gift model the last year and a half, and kind of self-organizing. I kind of consider like an open source innovation studio. And now we're looking to add an element into the studio. I'm working a lot to build an abundance of financial capital into our operation. Uh, so yeah, I'm all over the map. Like I'm working a lot with friends in Kenya. That's really the inspiration in how I got started. I was studying permaculture on a permaculture farm, and I met a farmer in Kenya, and I've been really curious how we can apply the power of the internet and technology and crowdfunding to make some of the most vulnerable human needs visible. Um, so yeah, I can go on for days, but this is a bit about where I'm at, all over the map, and like right here in the moment, just realizing the opportunity that we have, the technology that's available today. Um, Deeply passionate about total well-being and how we can design and engineer regenerative systems with natural principles. And yeah, create the environment on Earth that allows all beings to thrive together, and kind of remembering what it's all about, you know?
That's awesome. That's a great
Thanks.
little introduction. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I never know what's gonna happen when I start sharing like how did this all start. It's a surrender experiment.
Mhm.
Bex, I've seen you've been nodding along. What's your story? Yeah.
I have a friend that I drug over here, and as you're talking about it, she's like, "This is you, Bex. This is you. This is literally you." And I was like, "I know." I yeah, I don't even know where to start either. I have been also all over the map, but like tech for good. I was in augmented reality, virtual reality for good, focusing on like endangered species with Jane Goodall. I have been to Egypt. I've been to Tajikistan. I've been to New York a few times to represent climate change, specifically youth climate activists. So like that's my jam for the last 3 years. I've been in the youth climate change space. And so as you're talking about these different like platforms that you're creating, I'm in networks with youth who have incredible ideas, who are on the ground, who are doing this community work. And they just need to be plugged in with the other people that have those resources that they don't have. And so I just see so many synergies with like what I've thought and what you're thinking. And kudos to River for pulling in some of these cool ass like Dallas people to further the mission. So yeah, what y'all are doing is fucking incredible. And so I'm happy to help out however I can.
And guys, I just want to let you know, like, I might be wrong about this, but I think give or take, we're all just like 30 minutes away from each other. So we can actually physically meet up once a week, drink cacao, and meditate together and form a vortex. Like this can really happen.
Yeah.
And this, we can bring a Dallas community together, and we can have physical community,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm,
That's amazing. I'm happy
connected
for
to
that.
other physical community in New York, in South Africa, in the Philippines, in Brazil, in Colombia, all these places connected in groups. So you get the physical and the virtual. We could do this.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Yeah.
We've got some Dallas connections for sure. I know a lot of youth climate activists and youth activists in general, like in the social realm and climate environmental realm, all of that, who would be super interested in this. So, yeah,
Are
I'll
you? I'm gonna share with Bex and Anjali and everyone else. Like I'm gonna share the community organizer role. But would you mind just speaking a little bit about it too?
Yeah, I guess like what I'm seeing is people have just been showing up and playing a community organizer role without there even being a kind of structure to it. And so now we're really looking to professionalize our operation. That's a big initiative that River and I have been focusing a lot on. We have one other partner. We call it the GBS Collective Ops Circle. So we're really looking to set up a professional operations uh, and as an example, like one of the solutions we're looking to put in place, we're working with some rural farmers in Kenya and designing solutions for building infrastructure with permaculture principles to regenerate water and food security. And just that project, that's one of the projects like in this portfolio, but we have many projects. So you can imagine just how much uh, manpower is required to create that kind of solution in a grassroots kind of way. And again, that's just one example of one project. Now, there have been more people that have been seeing the way that we're working. There's a whole integrative organizing is kind of, I mentioned this social operating system. Integrative organizing is kind of our methodology for how we implement, how we work together as partners and how we design roles on purpose and projects on purpose. And, every circle has a purpose to it. So we have a number of circles, and there are very challenging and complex solutions that we're looking to put into place. So people have been just showing up and volunteering in various capacities. And now we're creating this role, the community organizer role, that um, we want to make it as lightweight as possible. Let me look up the exact language so I can speak uh, accurately. Every role has a purpose, like I said, and we created this community organizer role with the purpose to support a grassroots campaign towards total well-being for all. It's quite abstract. We do that on purpose because we see that every community organizer has a different way of finding like your genius. What are the things that you naturally, want to give? And that's kind of the core. It's funny, I've been working on this for like a year and a half, and it still continues evolving day by day. It's like, oh, that's how it works. So really what we've seen is that like Giving Back Studio works as like a grassroots network of community organizers. So that's kind of like it's like everyone is invited to be a community member, and a lot of community members are wanting to give back in various ways. So we're inviting everyone to be a community organizer and just support a grassroots effort, uh, yeah, centered around total well-being. And that looks like something unique for everyone. Some community organizers are helping with media production. Some community organizers are helping us to, secure sponsorship, whether it's corporate sponsorship or connections with existing philanthropic, grants and the like. Uh, we're also doing a grassroots, philanthropic fundraise. We've already generated, $12,000 from that in the last 2 weeks, and $36,000 is pledged to that. So we've raised about $50,000 so far, and just grassroots, just people asking, friends that have philanthropic budgets to allocate their philanthropic budgets to the Total Wellbeing Fund. But we know that there's corporate sponsorships that are available that are looking for projects like Giving Back Studio. the problem is that a lot of people just don't know about Giving Back Studio yet. So this is where grassroots organizing comes in, is just, getting the word out in various ways. Some people are picking up the phone and, making calls, and some people are going on the computer and making media assets. And um, the other cool thing about community organizers is that we train all community organizers in this whole integrative organizing practice. And part of the vision for this Total Wellbeing Fund is that if you have a project that you want to create a solution with root cause resolution, we want to have a fund available that has an abundance of capital, especially in like seed stage ideas. There's often startup costs around like new ideas. So we want this fund to be really investing also in entrepreneurship and innovation. It's a gift, and part of what we're gifting is training and community as a way of building teams in a very lean and agile kind of way. So we provide training and team building opportunities. We have a platform, GBS Community. It's like a noise-free. We use Mighty Network for that. And in there's lessons around community organizing, that how people are starting to put this into practice. A lot of these systems are super rough, so I don't want to make it seem like we have it all figured out, but we've been growing, for the last year and a half, and the systems continue to get better and better. And we seem to be having like um, what do you call it? Inflection point, where like all of a sudden it's like community organizers are inviting other community organizers, so there's this kind of virtuous growth that's happening. And again, what I see is that I want to find a way of inviting more community organizers to also create projects to resolve the root cause of and create solutions that you see, that you see are possible. You know, in my experience, this is all happening because, I've had a few friends who saw what was possible and cheered me on. And so that's kind of part of what I want to give back, is like, you've got an infinite creative power within you. What are the ideas? What are the solutions? So yeah, this is a bit about the community organizer. It's really the fabric of how we're growing Giving Back Studio, is through community members then choosing to volunteer through community organizing, and community organizers then choosing either to create, paid professional roles. So this can also be regenerative economically for everyone, or create your own projects. And as we grow the Total Wellbeing Funds, to create projects and get training to get funded, by applying root cause resolution thinking in the innovation that you have within you. The purpose of Giving Back Studio is to operate a humanity-centered innovation studio. So this is where it's like we're all over the map, because yeah, our whole purpose is innovation. So we have a lot of technology that we're creating. We have a whole operating system that's an innovation in and of itself. And some people, I get the impression, the people that are on this call, like, you get it and you're ready for it. And a lot of people, like, they're like, this sounds good. I hope that can happen. And like, a lot more people are wanting and potentially needing support in that paradigm shift of like, oh, not only do I see it's possible, but like, I have clear ways to actualize this in my life with a supportive community. Um, so yeah, community organizing. This is kind of the heart of this open source innovation studios, this grassroots campaign, innovating towards total well-being for all.
Well, all of that sounds incredible. I had to get out a notebook because the ideas were just pouring out of my head. My last role was special projects and impacts coordinator, and I was focused on community outreach. And that wasn't just grassroots projects like local, hyper local Dallas high school projects, but it was also like global. So we helped with, oh my gosh, all kinds of things. We helped with, what's it called? We helped the Egyptian youth and their battle for clean water. I went to Tajikistan for the Youth and Water Conference, and we talked about clean water there and access to water and what does that look like? Who are the people that need to be involved? So whenever I hear like the water project, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, all of this aligns. It makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
Um, so given where you're at right now, what is your next step? Like, what is the biggest thing that you guys are needing next?
Um, there's I'm seeing two things. One is funding.
Yeah.
We've raised enough to get this pilot started. We're starting to implement this pilot in a village in Bomet County, Kenya. We have a survey for 38 families in that community that just don't have access to safe, clean water. And we have a community organizer on the ground there. He's a school teacher, a permaculture farmer, and he was actually the first student that I trained in integrative organizing facilitation about 6 months ago. And I was like, hey, like, why don't I train you and you can start building a circle in your community and like engage people in your community to design solutions and like let's see what happens. Maybe we can get funding. I don't know, but let's start like mobilizing people in your community and getting people engaged in what solutions look like. And this was 6 months ago, and then it basically happened. And he went and he surveyed his community and he formed this water support network circle. And so yeah, we've raised enough to start implementing this pilot. We've created a model that we're testing to build infrastructure in less than a week once the money lands on the ground. For less than $2,000, we have a model that we think we can sustainably regenerate water security in less than a week for less than $2,000 for a household. And we want to scale that to the whole village as a starting point. There's a second village that we're also working with to survey. So we just need an abundance of funding to like secure clean water for our friends. That's one. We have enough to get started. Uh, we have $2,000 that's already, in the process that, you know, it's frustrating it's taken this long, but we sent it like 10 days ago and it's just about to land there on the ground. So we'll have some documentation of that first family implementation uh, within the next week as soon as that money lands there on the ground. And then we have about $9,500 left in our balance to allocate to scale that one family at a time. So we're definitely going to need more funding for the water support network. And if we look at water alone, if we think about the long term, these people need long term partners. It's like, one family at a time, and there's 2 billion people at least, that are experiencing water insecurity right now that need permanent, sustainable solutions. And I think all human beings, like my perspective is we need to take a stance towards like leveraging permaculture as an example of principles to regenerate ecological integrity immediately. So we definitely need funding for the water support network. If we think about 10 years out for that project alone, I have no idea how to think about this. I'm new to like feeling like the world of philanthropy, but I'm just like, there's 2 billion people, one family at a time. If we just look at our current math, like, okay, we might need like $400 billion over the next 10 years just for the water support network project. Like, I have no idea, but I want to do whatever I can to support these people in having their needs met. And it seems like there's just a lot of bureaucracy that we can innovate beyond, and we can move mountains with the way that we work. So funding is one thing. There's another project that we've developed in parallel with the water support network. With the data that we gathered, we saw that there were a lot of farmers in the community that had a want for greater training and support implementing permaculture principles into practice. And there's a consistent theme of people asking for training. So with the background I have in tech, I have this vision that I want to offer our friends there on the ground, which is an AI tool that people can talk to in any language and converse with about their problems there on the ground, to actually get real-time feedback in just natural alternatives to some of the conventional practices that are polluting water systems or creating harm in some way in the ecosystem. So that's another project, and so we got a few projects that are in our current pipeline that we just need to raise funding to effectively implement these solutions in our lifetime. That's one. And then I think the other thing is just like perspective. Everyone has ideas, everyone has solutions. So just like growing the community. Um, what I've come to appreciate, to take some pressure off myself, because what I've realized is like now it's like my vocation, it's not about like if I'm gonna eat or not. It's like a lot of people are counting on us just to have clean water, you know. There are a lot of people that are just like waiting for the government, and the government's not coming. Like it's like grassroots, people having love for humanity coming together. So just what I've come to appreciate, coming back to the first point of funding, is that like funding is a function of community. The more people we invite into this space and give people an opportunity to express their genius, the bigger the available resource pool we have. So it's really a combination of like building the community one relationship at a time, and yeah, raising this total well-being fund one sponsor at a time. Sponsors could be people, philanthropic individuals, family offices, CSR, whatever that means. If companies have money that they allocate to philanthropic purposes, um, yeah, corporate sponsorships. Um, does that answer your question?
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Yeah. Cool.
So that leads me to asking, have you guys considered labeling any of your initiatives with the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations?
Um, it's been like a thought for years, like, do we not? Uh, without getting into politics, I've thought about it. Um,
What are the benefits or the drawbacks of doing that? I don't know much about that. So
Yeah, so that was my thought whenever I wrote it down, but then when you said family offices, it was like, okay. So we helped produce the SDG Family Offices Summit. So basically, it was bringing family offices together for the SDGs. So for those of you who don't know, the SDGs are the big, bright, colorful things that the United Nations threw together to talk about how we need to change the world. What are these goals? What do we do to be sustainable? I'll drop that in the chat. And the reason why I think that these could be helpful is because it's a hot ticket item, and a lot of companies, a lot of family offices want to be able to say, I support SDG 7, I support SDG 13. And so I've seen a few things where the SDGs are kind of like this item that sponsors can throw on their page of, we support these initiatives. So that's the only thought there. And it also organizes it into categories. And so it seems like y'all are doing some incredible stuff in these different pockets. But maybe when you go to sponsors or communities or anything like that, being able to take this incredible, like, concept with all of these little different bubbles and some way structure it into these boxes that people can comprehend in different settings. That could be helpful, but I also see your perspective of the politics side of things. But River and I have talked about it. I come from the United Nations SDG world where it's all about like youth activism and we're working on policies and things like that. And so it's always been in our umbrella and been to our benefit to use the SDGs. But just a thought I wanted to throw out there because what you're doing falls into so many SDGs,
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
gotta,
I'm open to it. I'm
gotta
open to explore
thank
that.
you so much for, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, just gotta head out real quick, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining, brother. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And yeah, maybe a good place to pause anyway. And Bax, I love the ideas you're sharing. I'd love to jam with you some more. Maybe we can find some time, later this week. And uh, yeah, I just want to honor and appreciate everyone for staying overtime, and I really appreciate seeing how uh, yeah, how much care there is for this purpose, around total well-being. So I'm grateful to make some more friends here and curious to explore these relationships deeper.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally, 100%.
Awesome. All right, River, thanks so much for inviting more friends to this. And we'll follow up with like ways where you can connect through GBS community, and Anjali, if you want to lead a Medi, we can talk more about that. So to be continued is a way I like to close some of these circles.
Can we do closing thoughts?
Yeah, closing insights. What insights are we gathering as we close this circle?
Well, I mean, I'm just like, as soon as I sat down and I saw it actually happen, where I'm seeing faces from the DFW area on this call, I'm seeing like how much creative potential we have. Because, guys, I've been doing this with REA since I've been in Guatemala, and we've got so much accomplished in such a short time. It's been magical. And the best part, I was telling him too, like, dude, I feel like we get so much done when we're physically next to each other, like when we're working side by side, it's so productive. And I like the video calls, but now I'm really excited to like have that and not put that stress on REA. Like, yo, dude, we need to like meet up in like the Caribbean or something and do this. Like, we can do this, guys, in the Dallas tribe. We can pick any kind of project that we want to support in our metroplex, in our community, and we can be leaders for that project. If that's something that calls you, if that gets you excited, like, let's do it, because I'm super excited to do something like that. Like, now's our time. I seriously meant it when I said it. Like, we're not kids anymore. We're the men and women that are responsible for humanity now. It's our time. We don't need to play by these old rules. We get to make them.
Yep.
I really want to start forming. This is government at the grassroots, even. This is organization of communities at the grassroots. This is essential, and it's missing in our communities.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Anjali, you were saying this is just being here is helping your health. I totally agree. My vibration has stepped up like 12 notches since I got on this call with you guys.
Yeah. My thoughts were just like, I was thinking in the back of my head, like how I could potentially see myself helping it, because I'm good with marketing things. I'm interested in AI stuff, tools, technology, web, graphic design, video editing stuff here and there. Like, so I could see myself helping to some degree with marketing. Yeah. And like the other part is I'm trying to focus some of my energy on like meditation type stuff, and also you doing more hands-on healing, like energy healing stuff, and guiding people through meditations and stuff like that. So that's part of what I'm interested in as well. So
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited to like just see where it goes and kind of see where I can support, in different capacities.
I'm excited with you. Bex, Austin, any closing insights worth sharing?
Using insights. Happy to help. This makes me excited that all of you are so passionate, and I'm really glad to be jumping into this and hearing more. And Anjali, I know that you are more of like the tech person. I'm more of the people person, and so when people like me and people like you get together, things go really well.
Things happen, yeah, for
Things
sure.
happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. REA, I really want to jump on another call and jam and talk more about where you're at and offer anything that I can on my side. It seems like a lot of my experience has kind of layers on top of what y'all are doing. And so happy to help however I can further the mission.
Let's do it.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. You have my email, I think. But yeah, just shoot me an email and we'll get something
I
set up.
will. I will. That sounds perfect.
Cool.
Austin, anything on your end?
I'm just like, I'm a really good software engineer and a really good videographer. So I'm just like a tech person, but I always wanted to like, put my skills to good use, but I was never really like the visionary. I guess that's where you and Karan come in, is that you guys are like the visionaries. Tell me, like, I like your sword. Right?
So what I'm saying, we need the software engineers, we need the videographers. I did video editing for a year, and after a year, I wanted to pull my hair out because it's so ridiculous. So I really, really.
David Moycon's here too.
David.
Hey guys,
Hey, brother.
and that is REA too. I've heard about that dude.
Hey, brother.
I know these people. Nice. I didn't mean to interrupt, but if you just wanted to introduce me.
Hey, man. Good to see your face. Austin. All right, cool. I'm curious to chat with each one of you. So I'll reach out and we'll
Arya,
find.
you know those videos I sent you that you're like, oh my god, the video.
Yeah, I do
That's
remember.
awesome.
Now I'm connecting the dots. Austin is a very talented man. Very
Yeah.
talented. Yeah.
You go turn off music.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. Blessings. Let's keep flowing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Dude, we're like, guys, think about when you were a kid and you watched Power Rangers or Kids Next Door, and they had those like cutoffs where you had everyone's like face showing and they're like planning their strategy. We're doing that. We're like Captain America, something. I don't know, some like superhero. This is awesome.
This is awesome.
Well, I'm the Yellow Ranger. I claim.
Awesome.
Well, y'all have a good night.